Skyzone.Society.
Yo, you already know what time it is. You know what I mean? Welcome to the Zone Sports Podcast. You know what I mean? I'm one half for your host, your boy Big V. You know what I mean? That's my guy over there, man. What's up?
What's up, man? It's your boy COOLC, aka Corey, man. What's going on, man? Yo, dog, I'm in sports euphoria right now, and we're gonna get into all of that. I
I
love
know it.
this. This is my time of the year, and
Absolutely.
I gotta give a killer shout out to my wife. You know, I told her about my sports addiction before we even got serious about even dating one another, and I basically like, yo, March Madness, I shut down. And she obliged that. Never gave me a hard time about me wanting to sit in front of a TV for 12 hours and watch sweaty men dribble a basketball for 12 hours. So salute to my wife. She gives me mad peace. And I love that woman because you got to have a special lady that leave you alone for damn near 4 or 5 days straight.
Hey, or one that can sit up under you and sit there and watch it with you. Either way, you know what I mean? Salute
Yep.
to the wife.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yo, man.
Salute.
Salute to all the wives worldwide, man. All the good wives worldwide.
Word
Salute.
up.
You know what I mean? For sure, for sure. You know what I mean? We hope y'all
Yeah.
been enjoying you know what I mean, this March Madness craziness, not just in college basketball, but just in holistically life, period. Time changing depending
Yeah,
on where
man.
you're located at. Time
Yeah.
sprung. You know what I mean? Time sprung forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Time changing, all kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
Homeschool, this COVID. We hope you stay in COVID and sucker free. Most importantly, you know what I
Word
mean.
up.
Yo, this podcast is brought to you by my brand, Skyzone.Society. Make sure you shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. You know what I mean.
Word up.
I got the merch over there, the tees, the hats, the jackets, the candles, the sweats. Some for the kids, the ladies, even your newborn. You dig? That's how we moving it over here.
Well, it
You know
sound
what I
like
mean?
you sound like you got some of everything
You
going
know
on
what I
over
mean? You
there.
see
That's what
what
I'm
we're
talking
doing?
about.
A black designer made this. You feel me? Go get the
Ooh,
tea right now. You know what I mean? Skies on Society,
ooh,
bigcartel.com, baby. You know
ooh.
what I mean? But yo, we
Love it,
got some we got
man.
some sports to jump into. You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
talk sports, baby. Let's talk
Man,
sports.
listen, yo, like we said, but let's start it off with the March Madness. Let's set it off. Let's
Let's
talk
start
about
off,
March Madness.
man.
Last time we potted, I told you it was gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? It started off with the UNC Asheville game. I told you that game was gonna be crazy. Then it led to all kind
Yeah.
of upsets. You know what I mean? No more Illinois in the
What?
picture. You know what I mean? Number
What?
one's going down left and right. It's crazy. It slept on teams like Loyola, Chicago out here. You know what I'm
Shout out to
saying?
Sister Jean.
Shout out to all Roberts, you heard? You feel me? I'm
What?
repping, I'm repping all the underdogs right now. This podcast
No.
is dedicated to all, not only sports underdogs, but all the underdogs in life. You dig? That's what this podcast is
Yeah.
dedicated to. Representing niggas like Oral Roberts, you heard? You know what I mean?
Oh, Roberts,
Loyola,
dog. Sound like a
Chicago.
damn dentist company.
You
Word
feel
up.
me? You know what I mean? How you been? I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been hyped this whole March Madness. Like we talked about the last pod. I sat in front of my tube all Friday.
Yeah.
My
All
concealed
day.
weapons class on Saturday from 9 to 6. I
Oh,
hopped out of that. I went straight to the
yeah.
crib. Didn't move. Watched game after game. Sunday, same exact thing, man. It's been beautiful, man. It's been crazy right now,
This
man.
is,
Like I want to talk
man.
about the shockers. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah.
uh, Illinois going down was a big shocker. You know what I mean?
A huge
Michigan,
shocker.
Michigan is still in it. You know what I mean? Which I
Yeah.
picked to win this thing. You know what I mean? But man, who would have thought that Illinois would not be a part of this conversation? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
How did
I
you like?
mean,
What have been your thoughts throughout the madness, man? Have you been enjoying it or what, man?
I have been enjoying it. This has been, I think ESPN just had it on Sports Center right before I came up here, where the average seed is like 5.2. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's normally not the case. It's
Mm,
normally like a 2 or a 3. So that's basically saying a few things. One, lower seeds are really making noise in this tournament. Also, it says number two, which is more my personal belief than fact, is that it is so tough to evaluate teams throughout the season. So that can lead to, I'm not going to even say it's incorrect seeding. It's just that I would call it incomplete seeding. There's no way in the world that you could evaluate a team holistically like you're supposed to in normal years when you may have a team that don't play for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or hell, damn near a month, whatever. It is real tough to gauge someone's in conference and more importantly, out of conference schedule with this. And I knew coming into this, Big V, was that this is going to be a tournament like no other. And to me, that's a good thing because if you're in the upsets, buzzer beaters, and all that shit, it's here. Like it's here. It's been here. It started with the damn first four, let alone the round of 64, 65 or whatever. Man, I love it, man. I love it for a few things. One is more so like, with us not having it last year, the hunger is already there. Things like us have been waiting for March Madness to come back. And two is kind of like, the underdog story, like you said. And speaking of underdogs and people who didn't really get a fair shake, or I ain't gonna say fair shake, but didn't really, it won't really their fault, man. Shout out to VCU for having to bow out, damn near 2 or 3 hours before the game, due to COVID. That sucks, man. But I'm telling you, this tournament has the making of a movie. You know what I'm saying? From beginning, start to end, and we don't know how it's gonna pan out. That's the beauty of it. And you looking for unpredictability, man, it's here. It always have been here. I mean, there's been a year or two where it goes chalk, and not this year. Not this year, man. I mean, you look at like if I'm not mistaken, Iowa State, or Iowa rather, those cats was a daggone number 2 seed with my man Luka Garza, and they up out of there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the teams that you think is at least going to make the Sweet 16, forget the Elite Eight or the Final Four. Ain't even talking about that. You can't sit up here and tell me you looking at like Kansas. You ain't saying they was going to be in the daggone Sweet 16. You look at a team like Virginia, tell me that they ain't going to make the Sweet 16. You look at a daggone Ohio State. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Oklahoma State. Oh my God, right. Dude, come on, man. I mean, come on. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's beautiful, man.
State, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I had Illinois going a lot further than they did. I mean, man, it's complete utter madness, man, and I love it. I love it. I live. I mean, outside of my wife and family, man, dog. This is this is it right here, big dog. That's where I'm at with mine.
I feel the same way. I echo a lot of those same sentiments that you just said. I'm definitely loving this unpredictability. It's everything that I hope it would be. Teams like I said, teams such as what is it? I don't want to state it wrong. Teams like Oregon State knocking off Oklahoma State, like you said, was major. Again, Loyola College. You know what I mean? Just like for me, that was the knockoff of the year for me. Loyola knocking off Illinois for me. Yo, that made my entire March Madness, dude. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. That was my championship. And there's nothing against Illinois. I'm just so for this time of the year, I'm so for the team that you have never heard of, that you have never been checking for in your whole entire life, comes out, knocks these big dogs off their ass and get them the fuck out of here. Corey, I love it. I promise you, I cannot express how much I love it, man. And this is what I've always loved since a child. This is what I've craved for every single year from this tournament. It's teams such as Loyola Chicago and Oral Roberts, man. Oh my God,
Oral Roberts, man. Salute to those cats, man.
Bro, and listen, I text you day one of the Oral Roberts game, and what did I tell you, bro? Before they won, I said, watch out for Oral Roberts. I told you. Who would have thought?
You claimed
I told you. Who would have thought? After day one they will be in this Sweet 16 conversation along with teams
bro.
such in the same breath as Gonzaga. Look, are you shitting me right now? What?
And the thing is, when Oral Roberts won, my wife was like, "Who is that?" And I said, "I don't know. That sounds like the name of a dentist company, honey. I couldn't tell you where they at on the map. But here's what I can tell you: they in the damn Sweet 16. That much I could tell you.
Absolutely.
And they here. They here. They go up against Arkansas. That ought to be a hell of one right there.
Man, listen.
That ought to be a good one. Excuse me. But
let me tell you. Let me tell you, man. Arkansas, please don't go in there thinking that just because y'all are a team with a reputable name that you cannot be beat. Please. If you don't know anything,
ask Florida. Yeah, ask Florida about that.
Ask Florida. Let alone again.
Florida, God,
man, listen. Again, ask Illinois.
Yes,
they're at the house right now, watching this shit. Right, they're gonna be watching
it just like we're gonna be watching it.
You know what I mean? They got knocked off. Please don't go in there thinking that Oral Roberts is here to play games. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, I love it.
Let me tell you something, man. These cats are here to ball, man. I mean, you even look at the first matchup with Texas and Abilene Christian. I think I'm saying that right, where they beat Texas by 1 point. Yeah. And I ain't gonna derail too much, man. But I'm a huge Shaka Smart fan. Fact. And man, bro, this can't happen again. I think he's going to be on the hot seat, and I think the only way, because he's been there for 5 years, the only way to cool this off, in my opinion, it's been 5 years, bro. And of course, you want to take one away because of COVID for last year. So let's just be nice. 4 years. In the college world, that's about long enough for you to get your own players there. And him leaving VCU for Texas, why I don't knock him for doing it, because a lot of people they do that, go to these bigger schools. I think they've been patient. I actually think they've been patient, and you would think that with the resources, Texas damn near prints their own money with that college university or whatnot. And you would think that they probably would have moved along just a bit more than where they are right now, getting beat by Abilene Christian. And look, give Abilene Christian all the credit. And it was only a 1 point game, but I tell you what, man, for Shaka to kind of be all right with Texas, man, they're gonna have to at least make an Elite Eight next year. He might be up out of there. You can't lose to schools like that when you're Texas. And I hate to say schools like that, but that's just, I'm talking about it from a standpoint of how Texas and the boosters and all them going to look at it. That's all I'm saying. All right, that's a quick side note on that. But that's the madness.
I hadn't thought about that. I
felt bad for him.
I mean, when you go down losing to teams like Abilene Christian, I mean, your ass should be on the hot fucking seat. I mean, you're Shaka Smart. This can't happen to you. You know what I mean? Like, I love you, Shaka.
You, dog.
You know what I mean? And I definitely appreciate what you did for the HBCU that you were at VCU.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Definitely salute on that. But man, let me tell you, you right, Corey. One more year of this, and you losing to, and no disrespect to Abilene Christian.
No disrespect, none.
Let's call it what it is. You're not on the level. You shouldn't be on the level of name or playing field as Texas. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like y'all, like it shouldn't even be. It shouldn't even be close. It shouldn't even be close. But since
it shouldn't even been that close.
But since Abilene Christian made a conversation by beating Texas, hey, let's spin the conversation now, like you said, Shaka, you're on the hot seat, buddy. You're on the hot seat.
Yeah,
man. This can't happen no more.
He is, and I root for black coaches that coach at traditionally D1, schools. So I mean, I want the best for him, but that can't happen again.
No,
that can't happen again. He don't have enough cachet to take another loss like that. But
so I digress. Out of the 16 teams, who you got winning it? Has the team? Who did you pick to win anyway? I forgot. Is your team still in it?
I pick. Yeah, Gonzaga is still in it. That's probably the safest pick. But I'm going to tell you what, because I think damn near the majority of America got Gonzaga winning. I'm going to tell you who I like, though. Excuse me. That daggone Syracuse. My buddy, wherever I go, he go. Buddy Boeheim, a.k.a. Buddy Buckets. Boy, they said this mother father is averaging 27 points a game. This mug is going crazy. I'm just like, yo, if y'all have not seen Buddy Boeheim play, look, I follow the ACC, so of course we seen them, and they gave Carolina the business earlier this year. All right, fine, but this mug can shoot threes. All right, I
Okay.
don't. And he was okay. He's always been good, but he's like on another level with this tournament. I don't know if it's the whole father and son combo. I don't know what it is. You could call it nepotism. You could call it whatever you want. Nepotism ain't got nothing to do with the way this motherfucker dropping buckets right now. My buddy Buckets is going off. This dude, watch for Syracuse. Syracuse is nasty right now.
I'm gonna be
Nasty, and
honest
I
with you.
love it.
I haven't seen much of Syracuse. I will be checking their game out this weekend. And I'll be checking
Ah,
for him. I'm gonna do my homework on him, and we're gonna have to get. I'm gonna have to
yeah,
get back to you on the next podcast about how I feel about his game.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so you still
That's
picking
man,
Gonzaga to win it?
good. I'm still picking Gonzaga because Gonzaga, man, that I'm still sticking with them because of the dominance that they're having right now. I mean, they obviously, and shout out to Norfolk State for making it out to MEAC, but they, they did what they were supposed to do with Norfolk in the first round, 98-55. They played Oklahoma, which is a good team, beat them 87-71. Whatnot. So they're winning by double digits, and they have been winning by double digits. And I get it. They're playing the West Coast Conference. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know nothing about the West Coast Conference. I don't really think it's a good conference, but it's something to be said that when you do come out of that conference, you start whooping ass on everybody else you play outside of your West Coast Conference. So salute to Gonzaga. But the dominance, man. They play Creighton this Sunday at 2:10.
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be
That's
crazy.
gonna be a good one.
That's
That's
gonna
gonna
be
be a good one.
crazy.
To nobody who knows, it may not sound good on paper, but if you've been watching March Madness, man, Creighton, salute to them. They beat Virginia. And Virginia is a tough team to beat because Virginia plays that stifling half-court offense. So, in other words, in layman's terms, when you get down by 20, it feels like you're down by 40. If you get down by 10, it feels like you're down by 20. And there's not enough time in the college game with there being two halves of 40 minutes apiece. You get down like that, they smother you to death with that half court, and they take. And the only thing is with Tony Bennett and the Virginia crew, when it works, it works. It got them to a championship. But boy, when it doesn't, the losses are ugly. You can ask UMBC or whoever it was that beat them 2 years ago, that 16-1 upset. And this Creighton did the same thing. They lost by, Virginia. They lost by double digits. So I mean, they're the same way. But boy, when Virginia is clicking and they stifle your defense, man, it's tough to come back. So Creighton figured it out. They figured it out, and they whooped Virginia's ass 72-58. So, man, there's some good stuff going on right now, man. But yeah, Creighton got. I mean, if you could solve that Rubik's cube of beating Virginia, man, I think they're going to have something for Gonzaga. Now, obviously, I got Gonzaga winning the whole thing, but it's going to be a close matchup. Wouldn't be surprised if that's a buzzer beater, or at least goes down to like the last minute.
Yeah, I think so.
Could be
I
hell
think
of a
it's gonna
game.
go down to the last minute on that game, man. I'm really look forward to that one. Creighton has, I mean, for as long as I can remember, they've always been dangerous around this time of the year. They're never
Yes,
nothing to sleep
agreed.
at. They always got those. I mean,
Mm-mm.
they always got a lot of good 3-point shooters on their team. Some tall guys that play
Yeah,
down low. They can rebound real well. You know what I mean? They
yeah,
always have a, I like to call it like a zone offense where they can just swing the ball and get their shot off. You know what I mean? Let alone
oh yeah, beautiful.
they always have a scrappy team as well. You know what I mean when it comes to
They
defense.
do.
So
Yes, sir.
this is
Yes,
gonna be
sir.
great going against Gonzaga. I can't wait to see it. Obviously,
Cannot
my
wait.
choice still hasn't changed. I still pick Michigan to win it all. Um
Man, salute to
again,
Jawan Howard,
yeah,
man.
salute to Jawan Howard, man. I want to see them go far. I think they got a good team.
Yeah,
I think they got
yeah, they do have a good team.
yeah, man. I think with his knowledge and his tutelage of the game, I think all the boys have to do is just listen to what he has to say and play and play
That's
and
it.
play.
That's it.
And I mean, he's been here before. I mean, hello, this is Mr. Fab Five. You know what I mean? Like, what
There you go.
he's felt this pressure before. You know what I mean? He's been to the big joint, the big dance. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he knows everything there is to know about how to prep for this game. And if those young boys are smart,
yeah,
they're taking in and they're soaking in everything that Jawan Howard has to offer. You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yep.
So
And they play they play Florida State.
yeah, man,
They
and
play Florida State.
I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? I personally,
And
I hope they whoop Florida State's ass. You know what I mean? Because I don't
It's
appreciate what
it's gonna
Florida
be
State did to North Carolina. So I'm looking for a little bit of retribution. You know what I mean? Little
But
retribution.
I tell you what, if it makes you feel any better, these are two black head coaches going against one another in the Sweet 16 with
That's dope.
Leonard Hamilton. So that's going to be a good look. I hate they got to battle each other, but that's part of the madness, unfortunately. But yeah,
I love
no,
it.
and I tell you what, man, and Carolina, man, we always have a hard time with Florida State, no matter what type of team we have. So that Florida State, I always cringe every
Yeah,
time we play them, especially if it's in the ACC tournament.
it gets
If we play
scrappy.
them twice, we're guaranteed. Yeah, they get scrappy, and we'll be lucky to split with them whenever we play. And Florida State's a hell of a team. I got to give it up to them. But that damn Leonard Hamilton. Oh, if you want a brother, boy, I wish I could just talk shit, but I can't. I got to salute that, especially in D1 sports. But what are you
Absolutely,
gonna
man.
do?
Future Hall of Famer, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to
Yes,
him.
sir. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
we're gonna see.
sir.
We're gonna see if Michigan and Gonzaga get the job done on Saturday and continue our hopes for who we have as our NCAA champion. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We're
We
gonna we're
still
gonna
in it, baby.
hey, we're gonna see, baby. We're gonna see. We're gonna switch gears to some NFL right quick. You know what I mean? Then we gotta talk about the pig.
Yes.
Then we gotta talk some
You
pigskin.
know,
You know what I
you know
mean?
we got to,
Got
man.
to.
You know we got
Lot of
to.
big trades still going around. A lot of rumors going down. You know what I mean? The latest thing that's been
Yeah.
going down, though, unfortunately, is there's been
Ah.
some dirt getting thrown to Deshawn Watson name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some sexual
Yeah.
assault allegations going on. Some sexual harassment allegations going on. If you haven't heard, against the Texans right now, the Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's unfortunate right now during his time when he's trying to get out of his deal. Um,
Yeah.
I want to. I'm gonna let you go first on this, and I just want to ask you, uh, point blank, man. Do you believe it or you don't? What's your thoughts?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I, the fact is I don't know, and the key word is you said believe. And when it comes to scenarios like this, I always want to be mindful to both people involved, especially the women that's involved, or whatever. Because for all I know, they could be telling the truth. And as not being a woman, obviously, I don't feel like it's my place to really speak on what takes so long for this to come out if you've been affected by it, right? And it's funny because I was having a conversation with my wife, and I ain't gonna put everything we said out on blast, but basically she said a lot of things that I echoed, or whatnot. And I was actually the one that's kind of like, well, honey, I know people personally. I went to college with a few that's been, sexually harassed, raped, and things of that nature. And they tell me about everybody's first question is, well, if this happened to you, then what takes so long? And obviously, I'm not going to say her name, but she was like, Corey, it's the embarrassment of what happened. It's the shockingness of what happened, in the sense of, I can't believe this shit just happened to me. Did this really happen? Am I overthinking this? Well, Dad, if I come out with this, what is it going to do to him? Right? But then if you keep the secret, then it's kind of like, man, you're not doing him any favors, because he's going to do it to somebody else. And you hold everything you got inside mentally, that's not good either. And so it's a catch 22. And when I was explained that, I kind of had more sympathy as to why it may take as long as that. Now, let's shift to the other gear. I cannot remember the guy's name, and I should have had it, so I apologize for that. But there was a guy who had tried. He was locked up. A brother. He was right in the middle of playing college, and had a tryout. Actually, had a tryout with the Seattle Seahawks. This was about maybe a couple of years ago, or whatnot. And he was locked up over a rape, allegedly, and no air quotes, but allegedly or whatever. And it wasn't until she went to visit him in jail, and of course they tape record all of these conversations
Right.
And they caught her on tape saying, well, I know I didn't do it, but I felt like I had to teach you a lesson. And that's the only reason that he's out. If it wasn't for that, he was still. Now, to say all that to say this, he got hit with this when he was like what, maybe like 18, 19, 20 or something like that. He didn't get cleared to about 26, 27. Well, in the athletic realm, your athletic life, at least your peak, that's just gone. And especially if you're talking about playing a sport of football. So getting back to that, do I believe him? I want to believe him. And the reason why I want to believe him is because I don't know him, but he hasn't done anything to really show that he's wild like that. But that don't mean that he didn't do it. That don't like I don't know him. Yo, there could be silent assassins. Just because someone's cool and play the game and all that stuff, that don't mean that he couldn't have done it. I try to put myself in his shoes. I have a masseuse that I love to death, and my wife know about it. Okay, I make no qualms. My masseuse, shout out to Tiska. She is the best. Okay, whenever I get a massage, I go see her. She's the only one I see. Wherever she go, I go. If she's not in Greensboro, she's in Winston-Salem, I'm going up there. That's just how it is. And when you're with the masseuse, obviously there is a level of comfortability that is there. My masseuse and I have been, I've been seeing her, gosh, for at least like 3 or 4 years. And so over time, there is a sense of comfort there, and you're damn near naked on the table. So, I mean, I can understand how that comfort is there. Now, I don't want to believe that he would do it, but I wouldn't put it past him. But there is one little glimmer of hope in regard. I'll just speak from the perspective of Deshawn Watson. Now, there's at least one, and I think the number, my God, is up to 17 or 18, if not more. I can't keep up. It's so many, I can't keep up.
It's ridiculous.
And one of the cases, you got a few things going on here, and I'm not a lawyer. For one, these are no criminal charges. These are all civil court. At least the majority of them are civil courts. So one can ask or argue, well, why aren't we pushing this towards criminal court? And maybe because that's me not knowing, right? That's me being ignorant. But maybe, because I'm like, well, look, if you want justice, take him to the court, regular criminal court. Because if he did this, he needs to be gone, right? But if rape and sexual misconduct is so hard to prove, part of me could see it from the lady side where I'm like, okay, well, look, we probably ain't gonna get shit in criminal court. If I'm the lawyer, I'm like, man, look, that shit's tough to prove. Y'all don't have enough proof. But see, in civil court, the burden of proof don't have to be there. And civil court is all about money in regards of compensation as opposed to jail time. That much I do know. Now, one of the things was that one of the, I guess either the second or third one that came forward, it's been alleged that she tried to extort him before. So that's kind of blowing a hole through that, at least that one specific case, that one. And the same lawyer is kind of known to be I don't want to say an extortionist, but one who's like, oh man, you need some money, yo, he did this, like he's representing all of them, to my understanding as it relates to today. Now, I don't know if any new ones come out, they got their own lawyer, but I'll be fair, he's representing the majority of these ladies out here, this lawyer. So, obviously, if he gets money, it can be a payday for him as well. Or whatnot. But man, I do what I believe. I don't know what to believe. I want to believe Deshawn, man, but this is so tough, man. And I tell you what, and us as men, and especially men of power or jocks or anything like that, man. And there's no perfect way to do anything, man. But you got to do. I fault Deshawn this much of, at worst, putting himself in a position where stuff like this can happen. And there's no book written about what you can and can't do. I told my wife, I said, man, look, if I was him and if I had a masseuse that I like so much, like the one that I got now, man, you would be with me. I would carry your ass wherever I go. Like, your job would be to follow me around so can't nobody say shit.
Can't nobody say
Period, point
nothing.
blank.
You're right. Absolutely.
Most of the times when I go get my massage, my wife and I either do the couples,
Mhm.
or I at least let my wife know, like, hey, I'm going to the such and such, or whatever.
Right.
And
Of
I make
course.
sure I make sure to give my masseuse the proper respect of being I'm being super straightforward in the sense of it's strictly business. Ain't no grinning, ain't no nothing, ain't none of that going on. You know what I'm saying? The same way that the masseuse makes you feel comfortable, you got to go, especially with the female, and mine is a black masseuse. I really go far out of my way, but just black or white, women, period. In a situation like that, when you have fucking naked, you got to do your part to make them feel just as comfortable as they making you feel in a respectable, tactful manner, and be like, hey, look, I get it. Somebody rubbing up on you. The lights is off or they dim. The damn candles is in the back. Dog. I mean, hey, I get it. I get it, but you got to chill, man. And I think it was this was more so alleged, where he sent the text message to one of the victims apologizing about what had happened. Now, this text hasn't been verified or whatnot. If that's true, that is pretty damning, or whatnot. But man, it's a mess. I don't know. What say you, bro? Yeah,
Oh man.
it's a tough one, right?
Man. Um. I want to preface what I'm gonna say first by saying,
Yeah.
um, man, prayers to all the women that are alleged victims. Prayers to them. Rape
Yep.
is not a game. Sexual harassment is not a game.
It's
Sexual
not.
assault is not a game. I do not vouch for any of that at all. You know what I mean? It's sucker shit, quite honestly, if it's true. No matter who you are, it's some sucker shit. If you out here sexually harassing women, sexually assaulting
Yeah.
women, whatever you're doing, if they're not okay with it, it's sucker shit. You know what I mean? First and
You got to fall
foremost,
back. Yep.
you got to fucking fall back. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean, regardless of who you are.
Yeah.
But I want to say this
Yeah.
though, Corey, this stinks. And let me tell you what. Let me tell you what I mean by this stinks. Me personally, bro. And again, prayers to us, prayers to all women, all the alleged victims involved. If this is true, this is very, very some sucker shit, and my heart goes out. But let me tell
Yeah.
you, man, this shit has the Houston Texans written all over. I promise you it does.
I was
I
thinking
don't want.
that.
I'm not.
I
I'm not.
really was.
I'm not going to spare this audience of what the fuck I believe. You know what I mean? Regardless of what it
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean? Again, sexual assault, sexual harassment is not a game. But let me tell you, man, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I feel.
You
Yo,
got to admit the timing is something
oh,
else.
bro,
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. That
yo,
timing, dog.
can we talk about the fucking timing of this
Fuck it.
bullshit, man? Let me
We can talk about it.
yo, let's talk, yo. All of a sudden, out of the blue, JJ Watt gets released.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, first of all, let's address the JJ Watt situation. JJ Watt is a
Yeah.
fucking stud. You'll be out of your
No
fucking
question.
mind to get rid of JJ Watt. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Then it
Yeah.
comes out Deshawn Watson he ain't happy in Texas. This is a
Yeah.
trickle down effect. Why the fuck ain't Deshaun
Yeah.
happy in Texas? And why the
Yeah.
fuck isn't
Uh,
the owner or coach let it? Why isn't why? First of all, why are they even letting this news get out? This shit should be in house.
yeah.
If my quarterback is unhappy, keep that low. We're gonna work
Yep.
this shit out, especially when
Mm-hmm.
he's a stud like Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And then after Deshaun becomes unhappy, you just keep hearing the management just do this right here. Just a lot of this, Corey. Just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
a lot of
That
fucking
management is
talking.
something else, man.
Just a lot of
Yeah.
fucking talking. And then the other thing, when they do the press conference, The management, they're not even addressing Deshaun Watson as a person. Let's talk about that.
Nah.
They're addressing Deshaun Watson ultimately as a nobody. They didn't even say his name not one fucking time during that press conference when it first came out that he was unhappy and it was smoke down there in Texas. Let me tell you, man. Again, this is a stud. You do not treat a stud with the lack of disrespect that the Texas organization has treated J.J. Watt as well as Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Now, JJ won't come out and tell you that it was some bullshit going on, but it's mighty funny that your star defensive player is gone, and now your main offensive guy wants the fuck out of there too. It's mighty funny. Oh, and by the way, now, guess what? He's now doing as a sexual harassment guy out of clean blue. Out of clean blue.
Yeah.
It's been, you mean to tell me it's been, and again, if you're just tuning in, I preface my statement by saying all prayers involved to the ladies that have been alleged rape victims, sexual harassment victims, whatever it has been. I am not downplaying that. I am specifically speaking why this stinks and has the Houston Texans written all over, in my opinion. It's just funny to me that now that all these, now that, because keep in mind, let me remind the audience, during all this turmoil that has been going on with the Houston Texans, Deshaun hasn't said one fucking word. You haven't heard from Deshaun. You haven't heard a peep out of Deshaun. You haven't heard him say, yo, fuck the Texans. You haven't seen him change his you haven't seen him just change his whole persona of who he is and come out and just start talking shit about the Texans. He hasn't went on some press.
He's been chill.
He ain't been on no press rollout going to this person and sitting down with this person and saying how unhappy he was. He hasn't been the debacle that Antonio Brown has. He hasn't done none of that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about Antonio Brown. He was the debacle out there in Steelerland, not out here in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
No. That Antonio Brown, when it was all done, was a shell of himself.
And with the Raiders, too. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yo, with both organizations, man. He fucked it up. But, man, let me tell you, man.
But I tell you what, I want to interrupt you for 3 seconds here because while you was talking, I looked up some more info.
Okay.
Speaking of the Texans, this is reported by Anthony Wood at SportsIllustrated.com. Headlines: Texans planned to trade Deshaun Watson before lawsuits. Quoting here, to say the future of the Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson looks murky would be an understatement. Facing 16 lawsuits pertaining to cases of alleged sexual assaults, it has now been reported that the Texans were in fact planning to trade Watson prior to the NFL draft before these allegations came to light.
You know what, Corey?
Oh. So we was getting ready to trade him. No. We was getting ready to trade him. Oh, but then now these lawsuits done came out. Yeah, well, we was going to do it, but okay, please continue. I just wanted to drop that one. That just came out 20 minutes ago.
Oh my God. And
I need a drink.
Again, Corey, think about it. 20 minutes ago, the timing. This stinks. This has the Houston Texans written all over this bullshit. You mean to tell me that? And again, I'm not vouching for Deshaun. I don't know him. I'm only going off what everyone around him and everyone that has had a chance to coach him has said. He's an honorable guy. He's a leader.
Yeah.
He does this right. He does that right. He's a great guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. From what I've seen of him and what he went through with his mom and all that and everything like that and his whole story, I find him to be a likable guy. I don't find and just what I've seen and what I've heard other people speak of him. He doesn't seem like a sexual harassment guy. You know what I mean? He just doesn't. And it's just funny to me that since it's come out that he wants to be traded per se, because again he hasn't said anything.
Here we go.
He hasn't said anything.
No, he ain't said a word.
He ain't said nothing.
No, he's handling it as about professional as you would want someone to handle it.
Absolutely. But here's the thing.
He really has.
But can we say the same thing about the Houston Texans? Fuck no. They have been a shit show organization since all of this has came out. It has been a shit show in Texas. And to me personally, this is part of the shit show. I think they're behind this bullshit. I think they're steamrolling this bullshit. I think they have a PR department or some type that is behind this bullshit. And by the way, it's funny that you say most of these females have the same lawyer. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it there. It's just just fun. That's just funny to me. That's just funny to me. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep our eye on this. You know what I mean? But that's all I got.
This ain't over.
This ain't over.
This ain't over.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We're really gonna see, because I feel like this. If you had planned on trading Deshawn, you mean to tell me you haven't found one organization willing to give up their entire organization for Deshaun? You mean to tell me you haven't found one team? Okay.
The last I've heard, regardless of the allegations, is that multiple teams are still interested in him. Multiple. No, their phone, Houston, Texas phones has not stopped ringing. And in light of these allegations. You know what, Corey? That bringing it back to his character and who everybody says that he is. If he wasn't this guy who we think and we know that he is, and doesn't and his character doesn't reflect these rumors, that phone is not that phone wouldn't be ringing. That phone, trust me, when that again, I hate to use this guy for an example, but best believe AB's phone was not ringing off the hook due to his character. After that bullshit that he pulled out there in LA with the Raiders, and also after that bullshit he did with the moving company that he did. We're not gonna get into all that shit that he did and everything like that. If you know, you know. If you don't, do your research. But here's the thing. Yeah. That phone has not stopped ringing because of the notoriety of Deshaun's character. And something tells me that these other teams are smelling the Texans bullshit and aren't buying it either, and say, "Hey, what you want for him?" Yeah. We heard about the allegations. Yeah. What you want for him? And let's be clear that the Texans own Bodman there, he had a big issue with players kneeling, and basically referred to the players back in 2017 of the inmates running the asylum. So do with that as you will as well. Yes. So I mean, he referred to his players as inmates, and we're just gonna leave it there. That was 4 years ago. But hey, man. We're gonna keep it in the field. We're gonna keep it in the field. Let's do it in the field. You know what I mean? Joe Flacco. Yeah. Joe Flacco. How you want to pronounce it? You know what I mean? I call him the guy that just got a little bit of moolah. You know what I mean? If you've been on the Rockets playing her, the homie Joe Flacco, you know what I mean? Quarterback, you know what I mean? Just did a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we did a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're probably thinking, wait a minute. Don't they got that young guy, that young kid? What's his name? What is his name? You're right. We talked about him on this. Hurts. Hurts. We talked about him on this podcast. You're right. His name is Jalen Hurts. Yes. Oh, man. I heard of him. You heard of him, right? Guy. Pretty young. He seems like he got some upside to him, young guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, young, promising young fellow. Yeah. And I like that word promising. Because now that they have signed Joe Flacco, do you think it is a promise that he will start? Joe Flacco, that is. Or
Is it a promise that Jalen Hurts will be the starter and Flacco would be a veteran backup quarterback there for guidance? What does this say in your opinion, Corey? This is a two-part question, man. You know what I mean?
I will answer both parts with flying colors. First of all, let me quote football talk at NBCSports.com. We got some quotes from your boy Joe Flacco here.
Okay.
Let's see. And I quote, my main job is to play football, not mentor Jalen Hurts.
What?
That's what the man said. ProFootball.com. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get a little bit of read. Let's see here. Eagles quarterback Joe Flacco may serve as a veteran mentor to Jalen Hurts, but that's not the primary reason he is signed in Philadelphia. Flacco told reports today that he liked to think he and Hurts could make each other better. He was brought in to play football, not to serve as a mentor. Your goal as a football player is to show people around you that you know how to play football. End quote. Now, right before I came up, Joe Flacco modified that statement as the owner, Lurie, said, "Well, look, we're here for Jalen Hurts. We're trying to make things better for him." He kind of moonwalked it back and said, well, we need to be, I'm here to help everybody. And it was a backhand kind of way that he was doing it, because basically what Joe Flacco said, well, technically, when all of us are in the quarterback room, we're technically helping out one another. We're all part of a team or whatnot. So he kind of semi-walked it back. So I think that how that's going to play out is going to be funny. Now, to answer your question, will he be a mentor? I don't think so. I think Joe Flacco's initial comments are probably the most honest ones. He's like, man, what I'm talking about? I still got some shit in the tank. Ain't nobody help me, so I ain't gonna help him. And look, man, you can argue whether any veteran quarterback is supposed to help a young and upcoming guy. We've all been in situations where you either have to train someone. I've been in cases where I trained my replacement before when I was leaving the job. Or whatnot. So I'm not going to get on my holy high horse and be like, oh, well, Joe Flacco should help him no matter what, especially in a game as competitive as football, and especially at the quarterback position. I'm kind of more so get in where you fit in. And I think it depends on the mindset of Joe. If Joe feels like he got more to offer, then fuck no, I don't really blame him for not saying you don't want to be a mentor. I mean, Brett Favre did that shit to Aaron Rodgers. He's like, man, no, fuck you, pay me. You figure this shit out, right? But then on the other hand, if I know that I'm in the twilight of my career and I'm just happy to be on the NFL roster, then, hey, I'll help out. But here's the thing, man. In scenarios like this is what make players who they are. That competitive edge, right? That competitive fire that I'm better than you at anything, right? And so you can sit here and argue that, oh, well, he should help the guy out. Not really. Like, I don't really knock him for doing that. I mean, now if y'all gonna pay me or nobody else is, pay me my money. Give me my fucking money. But man, I ain't about to help this guy out. Like, I mean, look, man, look, you get me up in there. Let's have an open quarterback competition. Do I think he's going to start? No, I think they're going to roll with Jalen Hurts initially. I do think that Hurts is going to, now that the coach isn't there anymore, I think he's going to have a better shot at a fair shake. Because I do feel like now the organization is behind him. You got to see what you got in the guy. I didn't understand with what Miami was doing with Tua last year. I'm like, dude, you throw that motherfucker out there, ride or die. You drafted this guy in the first round. You got to figure out what you got there. Getting back to Jalen Hurts, I can't remember exactly where he was drafted at, but bottom line, you got to figure out, because you know what Joe Flacco is at this point in his career. He's not a starter. He is a solid backup, barely. Or whatnot, and he's definitely journeyman status right now. Jalen Hurts may or may not be that, so you got to see what you got. Now, one thing that I don't like is the fact of, even though it's football, there's what I like to call sensitive positions. And to me, the most sensitive position is quarterbacks and kickers in regards to football team. They just don't like competition, and the whole mentally fragile of the job can cause issues, right? Okay. And so I wish they would just have maybe someone who's a bit more over the hill than Joe Flacco is, to basically not pose a threat. Even though I get it, that's football, that's sport. I can hear Cash right now. Corey, come on, man. Nah, man, everybody got to fight for their spot, and they do. But you mess around and if Jalen Hurts is always watching over his back, if you're the Philadelphia Eagles and you're trying to do what's best for your organization, and if every single time I throw an interception or lose a game, and I'm pulling this number right here,
yeah,
is that good for his development? That's where I'm coming from with it, and I don't think that it is. Whatever. I don't think he's going to start. But then again, this is Philly we're talking about, so you never quite know. But no, I hope he don't start. Can you imagine the shit show if he starts? That would be crazy.
Hey, look.
Forget Def Comedy Jam. It'll be the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL for the biggest jokes right now,
bro. I'm gonna tell you, man.
Talk to him.
I'm gonna go out on the limb and I'm gonna say it. He will be starting week 1. Mark my words, Joe Flacco will be starting
way
1. I guarantee it.
Oh, you got to explain that. You got to explain that.
And here's why. Let me tell you something, man. This is a rebuilding stage for Joe Flacco, I feel. He's going to Philly, new coach. This is a chance for him to rebuild his legacy, baby. This is a chance for him to be on some old, what's my man name? That just went to Washington from Miami. I love him. I forgot we talked about. I love him to death.
Are you talking about the quarterback?
Yes. God, somebody. What is his name? Man?
Fitzpatrick.
This is a chance for him to have a Fitzpatrick-esque year with Philly. And I love it. I'm going to be honest with you. I love it. I love it, Corey. I'm going to tell you, man. I believe this preseason, I believe Flacco is going to bust. He's going to bust his ass and try to get in shape. I think he's going to make it a quarterback competition. I think you're sleeping on Joe Flacco. And I promise you, man, I think this is a rebuilding and rebranding year for Joe fucking Flacco. I guarantee it. He's going to go in there. He's going to make a competition. I don't know why, Corey. I just feel it in my bones. I feel Joe Flacco is going to take Philly by storm. Do you not see the chip on this man's shoulder? He said, hold the fuck on. Mentor who, nigga? You got me fucked up. I'm an NFL champion around this bitch. Hey, I'm not going to mentor no little fuckhead like this guy. No, I can be a star in this league. You got me fucked up. Obviously, this is Joe Flacco's mental state. You've never heard Joe Flacco talk like this in his whole career. He's been labeled as one of the nicest guys you want to ever fucking meet, according to people in the NFL. I don't know. I haven't met him. But let me tell you, I do know I've never heard him talk crazy like this. He said, wait a goddamn minute. I ain't mentoring no one. Fuck him. I'm here to start. I'm here to get another chip on my way out the door. He's going to have a fucking hell of a season if he gets the opportunity, stays healthy. Corey, I feel it. Joe Flacco knows it. Y'all got Josh Dixon. Philadelphia, let me tell you, fans, organization, hear me out. Joe Flacco said, wait a minute, you got me fucked up. Pump the brakes. It is going to be a dog fight.
Let me tell you something, man. Joe Flacco is as done as a burnt piece of toast right now. He's done. He's done. He's out of here. He's out of here. Okay, if it's an open quarterback, he's going to get ghetto blasted by Jay. He's going to get smoked. I don't think Joe Flacco can carry Hurts' jock strap at all. I think he is as brittle as someone who is 84 years old. He go out there, he gonna get his damn chin flown the fuck off. That's what's going to happen with Joe Flacco if they start him in week 1. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something right now. If he starts week 1 as you are projecting, I'm not even doing the podcast. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a printed picture of my face looking like this. And that's you're just gonna be talking to like you're gonna be talking to that guy because I ain't gonna say shit. It's just gonna be a cardboard a picture of me looking like if that happens. You mark my word. I'm telling you right now. That could you imagine? Could you imagine the shit show if that? But I tell you what, though. I wouldn't put it past Philly.
And that's my point.
I wouldn't put it past Philly to acquiesce.
That was my second point too. Philly is such of a shit show of an organization. They will make me right, Corey. Listen, let me be clear. I'm not banking on Joe Flacco's athletic abilities by far. I'm banking on the shit show organization that Philly is right now. They're going to make Joe Flacco the starter week one. This will be the story. The story will be Joe Flacco pushed it to the limit in practice at OTAs. I guarantee it. Watch what I tell you, man. Just watch.
But you know what though? You do bring up a good point. You ain't never heard Joe talk like this, man.
You right.
Man said ain't mentoring nobody. That man said ain't mentoring nobody. Like motherfucker, like if we all in the room talking, nigga, we helping one another. What that's me helping right there. That's me helping right there. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Well, I'm here.
Oh my God.
You know,
his new name is Joe Flacco Barkley. I am not a role model. That's what he told. That's what he basically told Philly. I am not a role model. That's what he told Philly. He did.
Look, man. Look, you want me to help you out with your little Microsoft Surface tablet and act like I'm going over some plays, diagramming and shit like that? Hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah. When you threw that pick, yeah, we got. Yeah. And to throw the next pick, make sure you do. Hold on, let me show it to you on my tablet. That's what Joe Flacco doing. But yeah, you're right, dog. He's been a model citizen, and when I saw this, my jaw dropped. When you brought up this topic, and I saw it because I didn't even hear this about maybe 20 minutes before I came up here to do the podcast, which I said, oh, wait till we get a load of this shit here. I said, oh, Big V about to lose this shit over this one. Man, say ain't no mentor.
Corey, I cannot believe that he even said that. I cannot believe I haven't told the shot. I hadn't heard that you said it to like just now. I hadn't seen that quote.
ProFootballTalk.com.
Man, footballtalk.com. Shout out to footballtalk.com.
ProFootballTalk.com.
Oh man. Man. That is great. I like it.
Look, because like I said, when we in the room and we discussing the game plan, and that is me helping. That's me helping. You know, it's like, look, you're a proud father. I hope to have that privilege one day. You're a proud father. Could you imagine that, you know, you buy your kids food and your beautiful children come up to you and be like, well, but daddy, we hungry. Well, I brought the groceries in. It's like, well, no, we need you to cook. Well, no. I went to the grocery store and I brought the food here. I don't care that you're 6 years old. I don't care that you're 8 years old. I don't care. Well, but dad, I don't even know how to use a look, there's a stove. But dad, you got to teach me how to use the stove. No. The stove is right there. I'll give you a little step ladder. You need to get up there. But that's me helping. I'm helping you. Right?
Crazy. Imagine that.
This is going to be funny.
This is awesome. Funny. This is awesome, man.
This is awesome.
I cannot wait till after the draft and this shit starts getting in play. This is going to be great.
Because you got me watching this shit now. Corey, I can't wait.
Let me tell you, Corey, when I heard that the Eagles signed Joe Flacco to a one-year deal, I promise you, I died laughing. Because it's sold the Eagles. It's sold the Eagles right now.
It is.
It's sold the Eagles, man. It is sold the Eagles.
It is.
Sold the Eagles, man. Instead of concentrating on Jalen, they went out and did this bullshit. They went out and signed a fucking Super Bowl champion quarterback. Come on.
And don't be surprised if they draft another damn quarterback in the draft. Don't let that one fuck you up either. That should be hilarious.
Man. Speaking of hilarious.
Look, yes, sir. Let's go.
Speaking of hilarious
for this one.
Let's keep the hilarious.
We got to talk about your boy. Yep.
Oh,
this is the zone comedy hour right now, in case you didn't know.
Oh my God. And if you just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sports podcast. This is a comedy podcast. Sports, the snooze in sports has just made these last two topics as laughable can be. You know what I mean? We about to get into this next topic, man, and I'm gonna let you start. I'm gonna introduce it. I'm gonna let you start,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna let you give me your thoughts
All
on
right.
it, man. Yeah, it came out this week that apparently Draymond Green says that he's the best defensive player ever, ever. I repeat, Draymond Green says that he is the best defensive player ever. Now, ladies and gentlemen, ever does not mean within the past year or two, the last 5 years, not even the last 10. Ever means the entirety of the NBA. That is how I'm receiving it. That is how Corey is receiving it. That is how the nation is
Mm-hmm.
receiving it. So he is saying, out of any player that you can remember that played defense great, he is greater
Yeah.
than them. He is the greatest defensive player ever, according to Draymond Green himself. Corey, what are your thoughts?
I can't. Okay. First of all, I think he's suffering from what I like to call the "what about me" syndrome, or what I called it in the past, the "daddy look at me" syndrome. And here's what I mean by that. You have Steph Curry, who is not even, in my opinion, arguably, he is the greatest shooter of all time. It took me a long time to come off the Reggie Miller
Me too. Me too.
train of thought with that until Reggie Miller said it. I said, well, damn it, if he said it, then I'm done. Um, you got Klay Thompson, who you can argue, maybe a good top 10 of all time, maybe a top 10 shooter of in the NBA. No, that's arguable. We could argue that one, or whatnot. And then we got Draymond Green, and you have the Michael Jackson family in music, where you got Michael Jackson and you got Janet Jackson, and then you got your Randy and Tito Jacksons, right? And they're all important into regards of what they do. You could call it being a third wheel. You could call it being a lesser known. Even like Jodeci, you have Casey and JoJo. You know what they do. You know what Devontae Swing do with the production of the beats. But then you got Mr. Dalvin. He dropped a whack ass video back in the late '90s showing him playing drums with braces in his mouth, saying that this is what Mr. Dalvin can do. And I can't even remember the name of the song, but it was complete utter garbage. This is the lane that he is somewhat in. See, you being a part of an all-time great team, damn near in NBA history. Generationally, we can argue the 2016 Golden State with the 1996 Bulls. I'm biased towards my generation, but if someone wants to say the 2016 Golden State Warriors with I think it was 2016 or 2017 rather, when Kevin Durant and all them got there, some of the best teams of all time. Hey, we could go back and forth on that. But I feel like he needs to state his claim. Now, I got a list that I got pulled up on lineups.com of the best defenders in NBA history. And these are all times, as you just stated, not past 10 years, not since I was born, anything like that in totality. And I started watching basketball about 87, 88, really becoming more diehard during the 90s, during the Jordan era. So my list, and this is no in particular order, this is just who I think is better. Now, here are some that I'm not going to even include because they was before my time. So when you start talking about all-time defensive, let me go back to the old school before you and I even knew what a basketball was, right? Bill Russell. Okay, he's better according to Draymond in his own mind. He's better than Bill Russell. Let's see here. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's better than him according to Draymond Green. Let's see what else we got up on this list here. Well, he was in our somewhat generation. Manute Bol. All right, fine, you can argue that. Walt Frazier, a little bit before my time. Elvin Hayes, before my time. Sidney Moncrief. All right, cool. Whatnot. Let's see what's some. Julius Erving. Okay. All right, Moses Malone. these are guys that I am excluding because this was before I started watching basketball. So, you know, I can't really sit here and pick apart their game. There ain't but so much you could do on YouTube. But already you're hearing the ridiculousness of how he sounds and kind of disrespectful as well. I mean, this is really supposed to be about, the death of Elgin Baylor, Laker great. But I don't. But whatever. All right, now let's get to our generation of players. Again, no particular order, but that I think is better than Draymond Green on any given day. One of my personal favorites, Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen defensively was a freaking maven. Okay. David Robinson, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, let's see. There's somebody by the name of the Dikembe Mutombo. You might have seen him in a couple of those Geico commercials. Get that shit out of here, right? We got a few more people by the name of Kevin Garnett, Gary Payton, Michael Jordan, Ben Wallace. Let's see here. Oh, excuse me, Tim Duncan. Who is he? Right? Okay, all right, cool. He's better than all them. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Let's see what else we got here. Dwight Howard. Okay. Oh, there's a few more. Let's see. We got Ron Artest. Let's see here. Oh, Patrick Ewing. Huh, who's that guy? Is he anybody important? I don't know. Let's see. Shaquille O'Neal. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Larry Bird. All right. Let's see. Joe Dumars.
I
Giannis
mean, we can just say
Antetokounmpo.
the whole entire '90s Pistons team.
That's it. Oh my gosh, you're exactly right. And let me tell you something. One of my personal favorites, my personal favorite defensive guy of all time is Dennis Rodman. Period. So he's better than him too. So I say all that to say this. First of all, part of it is working because we're talking about him now. The sports world been buzzing. You listen to NBA radio on Sirius XM. That's all people been talking about. And he feels the need to be talked about because he feel like he's left out. Nobody is saying that he's trash because he's not. According to stats here, let's see here. I mean, he made let's see, 5 all defensive team selections. I think most of those was about third team, but hey, he made them. All right, more than what I did. So I digress. This he's suffering from the look at me syndrome. But yeah, I'm nice, but I'm nice in my own right. And all these guys' names that I'm mentioning, I'm obviously mentioning them in their prime. So even when I'm saying it's about Draymond Green, I'm judging him at the prime of his career. I'm not judging him now, or whatnot. And I look again what we just talked about. Part of you to get to where you are in life, you got to have a certain amount of confidence about yourself. I get that, but I also think it's something about being self-aware and where you're at in the rankings and the hierarchy of NBA history. Now, if you want to say I've been the dopest defender consistently for like the past 5 to 8 years, I'm not really going to argue with you. Or whatnot. Looking at all time shit, you open up a whole nother can of worms, dude. That's a whole and I'm quite sure he don't care. I'm hoping that he doesn't, but this just kind of felt like an attention grab. He needs some attention. We're giving it to him, but I mean, yeah, we can't not talk about it. Like, I mean, it was so asinine that he would even do that, or whatnot. So, I look, you know, Charles Barkley called him Tito Jackson a few years ago. I mean, all that stuff, you act like it don't bother you, but it does. And this is where it's starting to come out. And you got to look at it like this. Even though I do think he's killer defensively, that nothing moves without Steph the chef. Nothing moves without him and Klay Thompson in that damn backcourt. They don't get to where they are without Kevin Durant being there. And I get it. You could argue during a 2016 run, when Cleveland won in 2016, had he not gotten himself suspended, you could argue that. But then I could also go back and argue that first year where they met up in the finals and had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love been there, who would have won that one. So we could play that game of, well, if he would have played this game or such and such wouldn't have got injured. We could do that you could do that in almost every NBA playoff scenario, championship. But no, he sounds ridiculous, bottom line. And I think he wants some attention. And it's always, I can't remember the saying exactly, but it goes along the line of like, good people like to tell other people how good they are, but great people let good people tell them how great they are. Take that one.
Okay.
Draymond Green, ladies and gentlemen.
You know, you know, man. I just don't know where this came from, honestly. Draymond, we
I don't
love
either.
you, man, and Draymond, you're great. You're a great. I mean, you are one of the great defensive players ever. But to go out on the limb and say
Hmm.
that you are the greatest ever
One of them.
is just so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You are. I mean, you are cemented as one of the greatest NBA players.
One.
I mean,
There you go.
even if you want to
That's a
say
whole
that,
different conversation right there.
absolutely, it's definitely a different conversation when you speak as if you are one of the greatest. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
most of the people that watch this podcast know that I'm an artist, and I feel like I am one of the greatest artists to ever walk this planet, and
Hmm.
I am. I won't go out and say that I am the
Yeah.
greatest artist ever to walk this planet. That would be a stretch and mostly a lie. You know what I mean? In my opinion. But if somebody wanted to think that way, if one of my fans felt that way about me, I love it. I love it. So if
Yeah.
this was one of his fans saying that about him, we should be shutting the fuck up and let the fans speak how Draymond makes them feel. But oh no, this is
That's right.
Draymond putting himself above all those people that you just named, which makes this some of the dumbest shit I've ever even heard in my fucking life. Draymond, what are you talking about right now? Like, yo, what are you talking about, dude? You know goddamn well
Oh.
you ain't the best defensive player ever. You know you not fucking with Rodman. We know that. We know you not
No
fucking with
way.
Pippen. We know that.
Nah.
Nigga, do you know how many people I think of defensively? I'm gonna be honest with you, Draymond.
Ooh.
I think of Patrick Beverly
Ooh.
being better than you when I think of defense.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I
somebody
agree.
had to say it,
I
and
agree.
I will let it be me.
I agree.
Sorry, sorry,
I agree.
sorry.
Especially during their prime. Especially during their prime. I totally agree with that.
Right? Like, what are you talking about, Patrick? Not saying that you do, Draymond. But I mean, in the past 5 years, I haven't seen Patrick Beverly take a night off when he's playing defense. Sorry, sorry, I
Yeah.
just haven't. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I just haven't. But getting back to you, Draymond, what the fuck are you talking about? You mean to tell me that you think that you're better than Shaquille O'Neal? Fuck no.
Whew.
What are you talking about right now? I could name 46,000 other players that I think that are better than you defensively, who I know come before you defensively, according to everyone who watches NBA basketball. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. When I think defense, I think of the glove. You know what I mean? For my younger
Yeah.
audience who don't know the glove, you know what I mean? That's Gary
Yeah.
Payton, one of the greatest point
Gary
guards
Payton.
ever, offensively and defensively. Sorry, Draymond, you don't have a nickname.
Yeah.
If you're the greatest defensive player, why don't you have a fucking nickname? Nobody knows you by nothing but Draymond. They don't call you Mr. Green. They don't call you Mr. Shut Shit Down. They don't call you Throw That Shit Out There. They don't call you nothing. This man stole so many balls from players. They call this nigga the glove. The
Yeah.
glove. He was ripping niggas left and right. What are you talking about? You spoke about fucking David Robinson. Yo, they call this nigga the
Woo.
Admiral. He was the Admiral.
Admiral.
He
Yes,
was the
sir.
Admiral. You
Yes,
know
sir.
why? Because he was the captain of his ship and he didn't play shit.
Yes, sir.
That's why they call him the Admiral. It was more than just
And him
because he
and
went
Tim
to.
Duncan was called collectively the Twin Towers with him and Tim Duncan
Oh my
when they
God!
had that run together.
What a
Yeah,
time
I
to be
mean,
alive!
bro.
What a time to be alive! What a time to be alive that was. You know what I mean? But
Woo.
getting back to you, Mr. Draymond, I think of Dennis Rodman. You know why? Because they call him the Worm. You don't have a
Worm.
nickname. If you're so fucking great, where's your nickname at? And I don't want to make this about
Yeah.
nicknames, but God damn it, when you're great, you get one. Especially,
That's true.
especially,
Especially in the NBA.
especially the NBA. What are you talking
Especially in
about?
the NBA. Yeah.
Hello, they call Hakeem the Dream. Yeah, it was because about the dream
Mm-hmm.
shape. But don't get it fucked up. Hakeem had hella defense. Woo, Lord.
Hell yes.
Are you
Hell
kidding me
yes.
right now?
Okay.
Are you kidding me right now? Draymond.
I mean, we ain't even talking about like your Alonzo Mourning. We ain't
Yo,
bring him
stop
up.
it. Yo,
Like,
stop
I
it.
mean,
Stop
come
it.
on,
Stop it.
man. Like,
We're not
like,
doing that.
like,
We're not. I'm not getting to Patrick Ewing and people like that who were better than Draymond defensively. I'm not getting to the Anthony Masons of the world. If I really dig deep,
woo,
and the Charles Oakleys, I'm
yeah,
not doing none of that. And again, yes, none of them
yeah.
guys had nicknames. Granted, but majority of these guys that are great gain nicknames
But you
and
know,
notoriety.
if you're gonna be the greatest ever, not one of the greats, but what you said, the greatest ever, then no, you need to have a nickname. If you're the greatest ever, ever at anything, ever,
Yeah.
ever, not one of the greats, but ever. No, I'm gonna need you to have a nickname.
You know what else I'm gonna need you to have? A signature shoe. You don't even have a fucking signature shoe. Hello, you know who did though? Dennis Rodman, and they were fire, and they were fire,
Yeah, he
and they
did.
were fire.
Yeah, he did.
Hello. That's all I'm saying. You know who else had a shoe? The glove. Gary Payton, he damn sure did. And guess what? You guessed it.
Yep.
They were fire. They were fire. So did
Yep.
Pippen. Pippen had shoes too.
Yep. Shaq had a pair. I mean, dude.
Hey, you know who else had some? Rasheed Wallace had some too. I didn't mention Rasheed.
He did. Yeah. Yep.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you're talking about you're the greatest, sorry.
Ever.
You just don't have what it takes to say that. Sorry, Draymond.
Yeah.
We love you. You're a great NBA player. You are a future Hall of Famer. Absolutely.
No question.
But you know better. You know better, man. We're not even gonna give you
this
too
nigga
much
on timeout.
Right. What are you talking about?
Put this nigga on timeout.
Yeah, man. Speaking of being put on time out, though.
Oh,
recently,
me.
Yeah, I know it do, man. You know, we got to talk about it. It pains me too, as a Lakers fan, to even have to even speak this shit on this podcast.
But you know we got to.
Got to. Ladies and gentlemen, the last couple weeks has been rough for the Lakers. You know, AD went out, and now Houston, we have a problem.
We got a big problem.
A big problem.
Big problem.
It has been said that LeBron James is out indefinitely. With an ankle injury. If that's what that I have been read and what all the sources are saying out here in the sports world, that it is an indefinite injury to his ankle. I think they're calling a high ankle sprain, and
which is the worst kind to have.
And they have no timetable for King James's return to the LA Lakers.
Yeah.
Now, Corey.
Yep.
You said, I asked you a couple podcasts ago. This is podcast 5.
Yeah.
So around podcast 2 or so, I asked you, man, did you still have the Lakers winning the chip minus AD not being in the picture? You said, hell yeah, you still had them going down. I want to ask you the same question now that LeBron, along with AD, is out. Do you have the Lakers still winning the West this year, Corey? Or does this change your outlook on things? I don't like your face, man.
I don't like my face either. And this changes things. This changes things huge. The short answer is no, I don't. And I'm going to tell you why. As a Lakers fan, I told you earlier in the earlier podcast, I try to not be one of those annoying Lakers fans where I'm just shooting blindly at darts and just say, oh, it's going to be okay. People, sports talk shows all over the place, they're making me sick. I've probably only heard maybe 1 or 2 people that actually says, hey, man, the Lakers, you guys are in trouble. And to those 2, I could not agree with them more. We're in trouble, and I'm gonna tell you why. It ain't because it ain't solely because LeBron is out and we don't know when he's coming back. It's because of the type of injury that it is. A high ankle sprain. Now, again, I'm a 49ers fan. Jimmy Garoppolo had this. Here's the thing about this injury. It is a nagging injury. It is a worrisome injury, and it's an injury that just don't ever quite go away. It don't take much to kind of just bring it right back, and then you're done again. Ask Kevin Durant about that. Jimmy Garoppolo, I think he went out in week 2 last year of the 49ers with a high ankle sprain. And this is before I really started paying close attention. I don't really pay attention to injuries or injury types until it affect my team. And when I saw the high ankle sprain, I'm like, okay, Jimmy G, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. And he was only out for a couple of weeks, but then he came back. And when he came back, it looked like he forgot how to play football, right? And it's like, well, dude, why is he doing this? Why is he thought like and Shanahan ended up benching him? And then come to find out, the high ankle sprain is fucking up again. That's what was doing it. And so it doesn't quite go away. Now let's shift this back to the NBA with LeBron James. If this was LeBron James of 7-8 years ago, I'd be like, okay, well, we'll see. LeBron's older, and I don't root for any injuries, obviously, and I sure as hell don't root for an ACL. But here's the thing: like either with a broken ankle or an ACL, a lot of times it's clean. You're out for a year, but you're clean and you're pretty much back to where you are. I cannot remember the injury that Kobe had. I want to say it might have been a groin at the end of his career where it just couldn't get right. You'll come for a couple of games. You'll be okay, and then you're out a couple more games, and then now you're not doing back-to-backs, and now you're not playing anymore. The next thing you know, you're not playing at all. And it's going to be real interesting. Now, if there's anyone that I do have faith in coming back, it's going to be LeBron. And we got a few things here. Everybody keeps saying we're going to, we're still eschewing to make the playoffs. I don't know about that. We didn't pick up anybody doing trade, not saying that it would necessarily even help because you could pick up whoever. We could have gotten Kyle Lowry or whoever. But if this team is designed to be built around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and there's nobody you could pick up other than stealing some people out from other teams, which is obviously illegal. That it's going to be tough because let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we make the playoffs, which is still, I'm more 50-50 on it, of the playoffs, making the playoffs right now. Again, what scares me is the whole play-in tournament. We talked about that enough. Google the play-in tournament formats. Y'all could go over all that stuff. We discussed that already. But the thing is that, okay, cool, we make the playoffs. Well, this isn't like the March Madness tournament where it's one and done, and that's a good thing. You're talking about the NBA playoffs is arguably one of the longest playoff stretches in the major 4 sports. You could argue hockey, give or take, and baseball. But even baseball has a wild card, and then they do the best 3 out of 5, and they finally move to a 4 out of 7. Whereas in the NBA, it's 4 out of 7 for all rounds. So I say all that to say this. Let's just say Anthony Davis comes back. And I think at this point with Anthony Davis, I think it is more of rest. I do think Anthony Davis can come back if he wanted to. But I think we got such a cushion, or at least have a semi-cushion, at least being like in the third place, second or third place, wherever we are right now, right? And so let's just say the playoff starts. Anthony Davis is back. LeBron James is back. Well, who's to say that he doesn't injure that again and he's out for 4 or 5 games? This could happen because of the length and the longevity of the NBA playoffs. So it's not going to go away. And then not only that, if you heard me earlier, I just got finished saying when Jimmy G came back for the 49ers, it looked like he forgot how to play football. Well, the same deal with this type of injury. You have to learn how to trust your ankle all over again. So it's not like you're going to come back and just blow lids off.
Yeah.
If LeBron James in his first game back was to get 20, I'll be shocked. I really would. Or whatnot. And he'll have to work his way up to that and get confidence, whatnot. But it's one of those things, it doesn't hurt once it gets better. But boy, if it ever gets re-aggravated or re-injured or somebody tap that thing the wrong way going for a loose ball, it don't even have to be as detrimental as the initial contact of what happened in Atlanta. It don't even have to be that. It could be a quarter of that, and boom, he's back gimpy again. So I'm a pessimistic guy when it comes to my sports team. Cautious optimism at best. But no, I just even with them coming back, with the amount of time that they've been out, it's going to be tough. And not only that, when we planned on coming in as at least a first, second, third, or fourth seed. Well, it don't look like that's going to happen. We can't beat anybody at all. We might be able to slip one with Philly. I don't think Embiid is playing tonight. Maybe, but with all the trade rumors swirling around with Marc Gasol, Contavious Caldwell Pope. Well, now how are they feeling now that they're dangle out as trade bait? There's a psychological, mental aspect. Well, do they want to give their all for a team that just was at least fielding offers? That's something to kind of keep in the back of your head. So if we come in, let's just say if we come in as a seventh seed or an eighth seed, or if we're lucky a sixth seed, I'll take six right now, or whatnot. But I think we're going to have to end up going to the playoff tournament. But that aside, okay, so you're talking about going against right now either the likes of Utah. I think Phoenix is somewhere hovering around that 3 or 4 spot. You got Denver hanging around, and who knows where Portland's going to be near the end of the regular season. Those are the guys that we could potentially have to play in the first round. Now, things all being healthy and fair and equal, I could care less who we play, but not right now. So I don't like it. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. What say you? I don't see it, man.
Yeah, man. I told you that I didn't see it before this. With AD going out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw how tough it was with just AD. So now I definitely don't see it with neither him or LeBron being back in action. Either no time soon or not soon enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with us having to do this whole play in thing. Those teams that you name, I don't want to see none of those teams. You know what I mean? Those teams are dangerous. I don't want to see Utah. I definitely don't want to see Portland with Dame time and Melo over there. No, no. And trust me, you don't want to see Denver. You don't want to see Jokic and them boys.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that. No. Those teams are dangerous, man. Like, and us coming in off of 2 of our main guys' injuries. That's just a tough spot to be in. Like I mentioned when we was talking about AD a couple of weeks, he's gonna have to come back and get his groove going. Same thing with LeBron, like you mentioned, and that's gonna be tough to do from a athletic standpoint and a mental standpoint because they both go hand in hand together. You know what I mean? You as an athlete, once you hurt something, you're constantly thinking about it in the beginning stages, and you're trying to tread lightly and walk lightly and hoping that you don't re-aggravate it or re-injure it again and be out even longer. So it's just a lot that has to go in with making a comeback that I don't think that people have taken into account, and maybe that people have taken into account and are already counting on the Lakers not being there. You know what I mean? I can't see no way possible for them to win the East. I mean, I'm sorry, the West. I just don't see it, man.
I don't either.
It's too tough. It's too tough coming off those injuries. Us not having anybody on that level that can take it to a scoring level as an AD or a LeBron, so to speak, and that has that court vision of LeBron. It's just not. It's not going to happen this year, man. It's not.
And let me tell you something. We're currently, as of tonight, 8:20 p.m. on Thursday, we are currently in 4th place with 28-16. Kind of give some context here. San Antonio Spurs is in the 8th seed, 22-19. So I say all that to say this: 6 games separate the 4 and the 8 spot.
And you know what?
That's how ill the West is.
And I'm telling you, we could go, the Lakers, that is, we could go on a road trip and easily lose 6 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easily lose
I
6
mean,
games, man.
let me pull up. Let me pull up their schedule and see who we could. Because I mean, I don't think we could beat anybody right now without LeBron or AD. Let's see. I'm just gonna pull up. Let's see. Okay. All right. Here's what we got. So we got Philly tonight. MB's not playing. If we could steal one, that'll be great. Cleveland, maybe. I don't. Cleveland giving people a hard time. Cleveland aren't as bad as they look. A lot of the games come down close. We
Every
was lucky
game
to
is a
beat them
maybe,
last time.
bro. Every game is a maybe
Yeah,
without those
every
two.
game is a maybe. Orlando, right? Okay. Milwaukee, forget about it. Sacramento. Now I don't think we get them. Clippers, that's a L. Toronto, that's a L. Miami, that's a L. Brooklyn, that's a L. New York, that could be a L.
Might be.
Charlotte,
Might be.
yeah, it really. Yeah, I mean, that's how bad it is right now.
Knicks balling too.
Charlotte, no LaMelo Ball, but Charlotte is still balling even without LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
That's an L. But I'll get them 50-50. And then in April 15th, Boston, that's gonna be an L. Then we got Utah back to back. We got
Hey,
Dallas back to back after that.
hey, it's gonna be tough.
You see the theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah. If and these guys, everybody say, oh, the Lakers will be fine. Dude, shut up. Like,
Right.
don't say they're going to be fine. Show me how they're going to be fine, because I am not seeing it. I am trying to be as optimistic. When you brought this topic up, I was just really trying to think of some ways. They keep saying, oh, you're going to get to the playoffs. Are you sure? Are you sure? How much would you want LeBron James to risk coming back? Probably earlier than what he should, because right now he's out indefinitely. People are saying 4 weeks. People are saying 6 weeks. I mean, with this condensed schedule, we playing like damn near 4 games every week, 4 or 5 games every week. So you're talking about each week could be 4 or 5 losses. Or let's just take it week by week. You mess around and go 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That ain't doing nothing for you in the West. Now, if you was in the East, you could probably get in the 6th, 7th seed with a losing record. But that ain't how it is out here in the West. And
No.
I'm telling you, for all these people saying, "Oh, you guys going to be fine. Oh, you be cool when they get back. Oh, y'all going to be cool when you hit the playoffs." I just need to see it. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see anything right now. I'll be lucky. If we could get to the 6th seed by God's grace and mercy, where we don't even have to deal with a play-in tournament, then we might be talking a whole different ball game. But
yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna count us in, man. I'm just not. I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it.
And I want to. And if that makes me less of a fan because I'm realistic, then call it whatever you want. I done spent enough fucking money and merchandise for it to be a Lakers fan. I don't care what anybody got to say about that, but I still got to. My job, especially here with you, is to still call things how I see it, no matter who I root for.
Yeah.
And let me be clear to Lakers Nation. I want to be as wrong as I could. Nothing would please me more than being completely wrong about my soliloquy of what I just gave.
Me too.
I want to be wrong as hell. I want people to hit me up on SoundCloud and YouTube and however else they listen to be like, Corey, you was a fucking idiot for saying what you said. That's what I want to hear. Corey, you the stupidest son bitch alive in the world for your Lakers. That's what I want to hear. And I want to be wrong.
And you know what? Unfortunately, I don't think that you're going to be wrong. I mean, I think we're going to sit here and we calling it how it's going to be. I honestly do. You know what I mean? But we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see as the NBA season goes on. You know what I mean? Yo, y'all make sure that y'all tap in though every week. And see what these predictions going to be. We might be wrong. We might be right. You never know. These just our thoughts, baby. These just our thoughts. You know what I mean?
That's it.
These just our thoughts, man.
Just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what I mean? Make sure y'all shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all follow the podcast on SoundCloud and on YouTube. You know what I mean? Both on the Skyzone Society network, on SoundCloud and on YouTube. You know what I mean? Tap in. And if you like watching it, watch it on YouTube. You at work, you in the car, you like to listen. Throw on that SoundCloud, man. You know what I mean? Listen to the sports talk, baby. We in the zone. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like we holding it down every Saturday, 8:30 in the morning. You know what I mean? Get on your YouTube, your SoundCloud, your Instagram. We posting the links. We doing all that. You know what I mean? We doing everything. Make sure y'all following in, tapping in for this sports talk. You know what I mean? I think my homie Corey froze over there, so I'm gonna hold it down for him and just close out the podcast. Yo, we love y'all. Make sure y'all tune in every Saturday. We dropping every week. You know what I mean? We gonna hold it down. The Zone Sports Podcast. Ref Skyzone.Society, baby. You know what I mean? Ref
Word up.
Skyzone. There you go. He back. He was froze for a minute. He back. He back. You know what I mean?
I'm back on
He
track,
back.
baby.
I was holding it down. You know what I mean? Yo.
Word up.
You know what I mean, Corey? I told them, you know what I mean, to make sure they tapping in on the SoundCloud and YouTube. You know what I mean? Make sure they tap in every Saturday and get with us for the sports talk, baby. Every Saturday.
Word up. Please.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all. Yo, Corey, be safe out here. You know what I mean? Hey, did you get the vaccine? I know you got the vaccine. You know what I mean? Did you go get the vaccine?
I got that. I go for my next one on April the 8th. So
I'm ready.
My wife
I'm 2 days before you on April 6th.
Okay, yep. My wife, she got her second one, man. Yo, we in here, man. We pulling these sleeves up, big dog. We pulling them up and getting stuck. You know what I'm saying?
So,
that vaccine, y'all. Because they opening them up to all groups now. They're mostly opening them up to all groups now. So ain't no excuse now.
Yeah, they have, man. Make sure y'all go, man. If it's something that you want to do, please go. Tap in. You know what I mean? Get healthy. You know what I mean? Like me and your boy Corey, we going on our second shots. Soon we're gonna be able to do this podcast in person. You know what I mean? Live and direct. Get with my boy, dap my boy up. You know what I mean? Get my boy a hug.
Word up.
You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. You know what I mean?
All of it.
You know what I mean? But until then, y'all tap in on the YouTube and the SoundCloud. We're gonna get up out of here. Yo, Corey, man. I'm gonna see you, man. I'm gonna hit you during this tournament weekend. You know we're gonna be talking, baby. You know what I mean?
You know it.
Already, bro. Be safe, my G. Peace out, y'all.
All right, take care, my G.
One.
Skyzone.